Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and today I want to share with you the 3 biggest mistakes that I made and that I see new bloggers making all the time. So if you've been following along with my channel this week, you know that it is launch week for my brand new blogging course. I talked all about this for months now, about how I was gonna release a course where I teach everything. More to come on that at the end of this. I want to jump straight into the video, but I'll be back to my usual content that I create on this channel after this course launch week. But let's dive into the 3 mistakes that I see new bloggers making. So if you want to start a blog, the world of blogging can seem really overwhelming. I know that it did for me. And there are some things that I wish I had known when I started. So the first mistake actually happens before you even get started, and also in the beginning stages, and pretty much always, and that is perfectionism. So I find that a lot of people really want to start creating content on the internet, and they stop at the very start. So get hung up on a domain name, on picking the perfect theme and making the website look absolutely perfect before creating any content. Now, the reason this is a mistake is the blog will evolve and change over time. You'll find that you like writing about certain things better than others, and you'll find what your audience responds to, and you're gonna get better at creating better pictures and making your website look better. But at first, things are pretty much not gonna be perfect. And I find that people won't even start creating good content for that reason. Now, the way you can avoid this mistake, obviously, is to just get started. So start creating tutorials or recipes or whatever it is that you have a desire to start creating a blog about. My sister, for an example, she has a channel and a blog all about creating different essential oil recipes. So she has food recipes, home recipes, everything like that. She's going back now and fixing some of her first posts because she says the pictures are laughable. They're so bad. But right now she is growing tons of traction. So she's getting thousands of followers on YouTube, on Instagram, and she's getting page views and more viewership on Pinterest. And the way that that happened is she didn't let perfectionism stop her from just starting. So that's the first mistake. And I know I did it too. I played around with the idea for a name for a really long time, too long. And I actually had the idea in my head to start a blog for probably years before I started it. But I was worried about not knowing exactly what I wanted to do, and it just stopped me. So that is mistake number 1, perfectionism when starting a blog. Mistake number 2 is letting the overwhelming learning curve of blogging stop you. So when I first started blogging, I learned all the social media platforms and how they work. I needed to learn how to pin my pins on Tailwind for Pinterest. I needed to learn how to shoot my camera in DSLR mode. Then I needed to learn video. And I was very averse to wanting to learn new things because they overwhelmed me so much. And I see this happening with bloggers all the time. Even established bloggers get really overwhelmed with learning the next thing. And it stops them from creating a successful blog because of the learning curve. So how to avoid this mistake is just to make a plan in your mind for this blogging journey to be long-term, not 10 years, but 6 months, a year, 3 years, and just commit to learning something new every month. So just designate that this month I'm gonna learn Pinterest. And I'm not gonna worry about the fact that I should be promoting my blog posts on Instagram the right way, on Facebook the right way, and I should be creating video and layering all these things on top of your brain to the point where you just decide to completely quit. Instead, just know that this is a long-term process. You can't compare your year 1 to someone else's year 4. I know that I made that mistake in the beginning. I would look at someone's blog who'd been blogging for 5, 10 years, and their pictures were perfect at this point. They were getting all the best sponsorships. They had thousands of followers on all the social media platforms, and it felt like an impossible task to ever get to that point. 1, you don't have to ever match someone else's success, ever. And 2, you're comparing something that someone's been working on late nights for years to your just beginning. So the way to avoid this overwhelm, like I said, commit to learning 1 new thing every single month, and know that in a year, I will know all of these things. But in that month, don't even think about the next month, because that can stop you from learning the new thing in that new month. Also, commit to a certain number of hours per week. So it could be that every night when your kids go to bed from 7 to 9, you're going to work on your blog. And know that in a year, that's going to equate to over 700 hours of putting an effort towards something. And by that point, you will definitely have learned something new, and you're gonna be a lot further than you are now. And you're gonna have more to learn still, but you can't let that overwhelm you from even going forth. So that was definitely a mistake that I made at the beginning. I got so overwhelmed that I almost practically quit in some months, because I was like, well, there's no way I can ever learn all this stuff. Because it needs to be a slow process, thought out over the course of years, not I need to know all these things in 6 months. You just need to start. Third mistake that I see new bloggers making is creating content that people don't care about right from the beginning. So this is a hard one, because in the beginning, you're probably writing to an audience of your mom and your aunt, and you're probably thinking about what they'd want to see, which is what you did over the weekend or what you ate that week. The thing is that until you build up an audience of people who actually care what you're doing personally, they want to see how you can help them. Now, this is always the case, no matter how big a blogger is, or until someone's famous, which most bloggers never get famous, people want to see how you can help them. So sharing your meal plan will work if you show them how they could implement that meal plan in their home. And the biggest goal is to create content that helps others. So you have to think with every piece of content you create, how does this help someone? People don't really care to know the details of my life, especially at first. Now, obviously, if the goal of your blog is to keep family and friends up to date, writing about personal things is the best way to do it. That's awesome. But if your goal is to create a blog that earns an income and draws in a bunch of people and a wide audience, the main goal is to create content that people are getting value from. So that they tell their friends, hey, check out this blogger. I was able to put together my whole fall wardrobe in 20 minutes after watching her capsule video, or I made this amazing dish and everyone at Thanksgiving just loved it. You should really check out this food blogger. The goal is that people want to share it on Pinterest, share it on Facebook, and they need to see value. So long, thought out, researched articles or beautiful photography with ideas that are new is how to do that. And I find that a lot of bloggers in the beginning aren't quite thinking about their audience as much as they're thinking about what they want to say. Now, of course, later on, it seems like people get more interested in more of your personal life, but that comes later, and you have to really feel out your audience and just see what they want. And that comes with time too. And there's definitely times in my blogging career where I've made a mistake and I've put out content that nobody cared about and people didn't like. And that definitely happens. And just like the first mistake in this, you just kind of have to fail forward, and you're going to make mistakes, and it's totally okay. But those are the 3 that I want to start with. Now, in my course, I have another video that goes kind of more very specific mistakes that I made blogging. The blog course is full of over 60 lessons. So there's been several people who've enrolled in the course who've had a chance to go through several of the lessons, and I am just so happy with the feedback that I'm getting. I'll pop up a few of the reviews so that you can see what other people are saying about this course if you want to pause and read. I am so happy that people are finding value and they are starting to actually feel motivated to create the blog dream that's been in their head for so long, but maybe they weren't exactly sure how to get it out there. I really walk you through every little step. So from what I'm hearing from everyone, people who've already bought blogging courses, who've tried other things, are saying that the instructions are very easy to follow. I've had a lot of questions about what all I go into. I start from the very beginning through all of the technical details. And then, for people who already have their blog established, I go into how to actually grow an audience and create content that people care about. There's a private Facebook group, and now that we're almost a week into this course launch, it's really filling up with people who are asking questions, and I'm able to pop in and answer some of those questions, as well as creating new relationships. I saw in the Facebook group that there were 3 or 4 bloggers who felt they had a similar niche, and they're all kind of joining together now for collaborations and to support each other on their journey. So I just love the community that's happening over there on the Facebook group. And I really hope to see you there. Anyone who enrolls in the course will be able to join that group. The course will always be available if you think you want to start a blog later. It'll always be available. The Facebook group will always be there for anyone who enrolls in the course can come join the Facebook group. I'm going live in there occasionally, as well as answering questions, giving my opinion. As the group grows a little bit larger, I think a lot of the ideas will just kind of bounce off each other and myself, but that will always be available. And also the 2019 content calendar, which has all the social media holidays and basically everything you need to plan out your blog in 2019, which is a perfect New Year's resolution, will be available through 1 week from now. So head on over. I left the link in the description below to the course and all the details. You can just check out the page that shows all is included, and you can head over to see if it's a good fit for you and the blog that you've been dreaming up. All right, well, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I normally make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. And I have tons of recipes and DIY projects planned for after this course launch, and I cannot wait to share them all with you. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.